Hey you guys, it's Lisa Driver, and of course you can find out more about me at lisadriver.com. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing an excerpt from my latest book, You Are Enough, and talking a little bit about what it's like growing up with a soft heart. Now, in my latest book, You Are Enough, which I just published in September of 2022, I talk a lot about the empathy, the intuitiveness, and the knowing that you are enough, despite maybe people telling you as a child that you were too sensitive or too emotional, or go cry somewhere else, or take those emotions elsewhere because it's making me uncomfortable. And this is something that I've come across in my decade of working with empathic, sensitive, spiritual women. A lot of us were told that our emotions were not valid. This is something I write extensively about in this book, awakening that, embracing that empathy, and understanding that we're seeing this rise in the divine feminine energy where that sensitive soul is going to be needed, not only to help heal others, but to help heal the world. And I see this especially with raising two daughters. It's something I'm super passionate about teaching moving forward, showing how I'm healing this in me so that my daughters don't have to heal it in themselves. Showing how I'm healing this in me and leading by example for my daughters and for all the other next generation kids that I come in contact with, be it at the schools or my nieces and nephews or the people in my community. Now, who do you inspire? Who do you look to inspire? Who is your motivation for doing this healing work? Because being an empath and doing the hard healing work, especially some of the stuff I talk about in You Are Enough, it isn't easy. Once you peek behind the curtain, you can't go back. You're going to notice sort of some of those ancestral patterns or the mirrors in your life that are maybe making you uncomfortable and making you question your response. This is another thing that I'm really passionate about that I'm going to be sharing moving forward. My tendency is to people please. I get these mirrors of people wanting things for me, and I'm a striver, I'm an achiever. I love helping. I love being the helper. So what do? Well, 9 times out of 10 in the past, I would just say, yes, absolutely. People please, people please, people please. I'll show up for you. But when it comes to showing up for me, we'll see how I feel. And in this book, I talk a lot about really balancing out giving with receiving. Receiving as much as you give, embracing all of those emotions, and knowing that you can really vulnerably share them with the right people, and you're going to receive that support and love back. Now, I want to share an excerpt from You Are Enough because this is what I want to do in these videos. Teach you how to heal that tendency to show up for others and not yourself. Teach you how to lead with light for that next generation so that they also go within and say, what matters to me? What really makes me feel enough and open and expansive and ready to shine my light for other people? And this is where I'm so thrilled. I'm going to be sharing these videos twice a month, once at the beginning and once in the middle. And your best bet is either to subscribe to me on YouTube or better yet, sign up for my twice a month newsletter. This is where I'm not only going to be sharing these videos, but also any events that I'm doing or any podcasts that I'm hoping to guest on. This is my next plan, to share my books with other people. I'm also going to be creating a TikTok account, and I'm going to be sharing some of my inspiration on Instagram. Those are the best ways that you can find me in the coming weeks, months, and hopefully years. This is kind of my plan. It's going to be what works for me for a while. I feel it. The angels have guided me to it. So make sure you're following the links in the YouTube comments to really do that. But let's get into it. I want to read an excerpt. I hope it resonates. I always trust that it will. One of the great things about all of my books, which I have over here, I'll show you guys later, is that you can flip them open and just receive a message. You can just say, I'm really stuck. What do I need to know? And whatever's on that page is going to be exactly what you need. So I did this right before I hit record, and I flipped to the Growing Up with a Soft Heart. Now in here, this is what I say. Just like everyone's upbringing is unique, so are the beliefs you were taught about things like money, power, connection, love, sex, your body, family, work, success, and fulfillment. It usually isn't until you're an adult yourself that you understand your parents or the parental figures who raised you are simply human, flawed and doing the best they could at the time, just like everyone else. As a kid, you likely put your parents and or grandparents on a pedestal and thought they knew everything. These adults cared for you, fed you, clothed you, and did what they could to help you grow. So naturally, you look to them as leaders. In your innocent eyes, they had all the answers. Yet those answers come from their own experiences, upbringings, and patterns. And this is something I talk a lot about in this book, is really having that compassionate viewpoint to see that the people that raised you and all the other people around you have their own filter, their own sense of experience, their own upbringing, their own traumas, which is a major buzzword right now, but their own experiences that maybe could have been handled a little better, their own flawed people that were raising them or teaching them. And that impacts how they show up for you and how they really respond to your wishes, your dreams, your conversations. And I need you to take that and really internalize that so that sometimes, every now and then, you can filter it through your own perspective and say, okay, they're sending me this message. Does that resonate, or is that their own stuff? And I'm going to be helping you learn that. I'm going to be teaching that. I'm really excited. So it says, as a sensitive empath, I'm sure you're aware that this is not always a good thing, that they have their own sense of their own filters. After all, we are human, all imperfect, and doing what we can to grow, learn, and try to find some happiness. As you begin to heal these relationships and gain clarity on the positive and maybe not so positive traits and beliefs you now carry, you might find yourself feeling extremely overwhelmed, perhaps because of a traumatic childhood or even adulthood. Things like abuse, neglect, homelessness, poverty, and abandonment can cause extreme distrust of a supportive and loving universe. Love may have been withheld from you, or used as a bargaining chip for good behavior, or never freely given at all. Earning the love of a parent, grandparent, or other adult role model is not something any child should ever have to do. And if this was the case for you, please hear me out. 100% of the time, if an adult is withholding love, it's their own painful pattern at work. And I go on to talk a little bit about that, but then to just say, here we go. We're going to get into this. There's a chapter next that's called Parenting is Hard. And then we get into healing those parenting relationships. And this book is super helpful. Make sure you grab your copy if you don't already at lisadriver.com. But I do want to read the angel activation, because this is the thing. If we grew up without parents that support us, or parental figures that never really encouraged our empathy, or worse yet, told us to go and hide it or feel it elsewhere, or don't feel it at all, then it can really do damage on our sensitive souls and have us feeling less than or limited or lacking in so many ways. And that is just asking to be healed. If you're watching this video, it's because you're meant to be healing that in some form or another. So let's read this beautiful angel activation. Every single chapter in You Are Enough ends with an angel activation. It's a prayer, it's an intention, it's something you put up to the angels to ask them for help, because we have free will. So you need to ask and welcome them in and give them permission to help you on this journey. So let's do just that. Angels, please help me have a higher perspective of my upbringing. Help me to feel loved, nurtured, and seen. Lift up my traumas and perceived hurts, and help me to understand that the adults I looked to were flawed as well. Fill me with compassion for them and for myself. Please help me to accept my past and to use it to create an even better future. Thank you. So I'm going to be sharing that angel activation in the blog where I share this video. So you'll see the blog link. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the blog link to lisadriver.com on the comments. Click on that if you want that angel activation to read out loud or to copy down somewhere. It's super powerful. Just that intention that you're aware and you're understanding that it didn't go the way you thought. But now what are we doing about it? How are we taking action today? Our power lies in today. So I'm going to keep bringing your attention back to that. to the ups and the downs, the daily joys and the real struggles. I'm going to be sharing my journey. I'm going to be doing that mostly through TikTok and Instagram, so make sure you follow me there. And like I said, twice a month YouTube videos where I share my books. I share some of this wonderful knowledge that I've channeled from the ethers, from these beautiful beings of light who want you to feel enough and to manifest more joy and to heal your tendencies that are getting in the way of you feeling worthy. You deserve it. You are so loved, and I'm so honored to be part of your journey. Hit me up in the comments below if that really resonates with you, and if you are an empath and maybe some of the struggles you've had. Let's talk about this. I want to really start a conversation and have these tough conversations where we're talking about this and feeling seen and heard. It's super duper important. And until next time, guys, I love you lots, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.